Watchfulness is the path to the deathless. Unawareness is the path to death. The watchful die not. The unaware are as if dead already. Clearly understanding this excellence of watchfulness, the wise exult therein and enjoy the resort of the noble ones. The wise ones, ever meditative and steadfastly persevering, alone experience nirvana, the incomparable freedom from bondage. So Buddha doesn't use words carelessly. We're talking about the Buddha here. One of the most responsible individuals we've ever had, whose every word was measured, careful. He knows what he's talking about. He's fully aware of the impact of his words. As an enlightened man, he knows that his words will resonate in the hearts and minds of the people for a very long time. The last thing Buddha wants to do is mislead. That is why when you are listening to Buddha's words, it almost feels like watching an animal move when it's hunting. It's like watching a tiger. Every step is carefully placed with full awareness. It's in a heightened state of awareness. It knows that one false step, it will go hungry. It might even die. Buddha's words have to be taken in with the same level of attentiveness. Because we live in a world where words are simply thrown around. And we hear words all the time. We live in the world of words. That is where words have actually lost their value and meaning. Now think about it. An individual who is searching for truth, searching for answers to the most important questions of his life. He hears about the Buddha from someone. Just imagine the sense of excitement, the sense of anticipation, the sense of joy this individual is experiencing. He has not yet met the Buddha. He has not heard his words. But the transformation has already begun. Now, why is this very important to understand? You have to be in a certain state of mind for words to shake you out of your sleep. Otherwise, they will simply tickle you and move away. That is why, despite of the ultimate truth being openly available to people in Buddha's words, people have still misunderstood him. People have not dropped everything they are doing to make those words into a reality. To truly understand the Buddha, you have to go back in time. You have to understand the purity of what a seeker is. You have to understand the thirst of a seeker, the longing of a seeker. Just as for the one who's thirsty, who's been wandering in the desert for days, one drop of water tastes like nectar, tastes like the best thing he's ever tasted. For the one who's longing for truth, few simple words of Buddha become the greatest of blessings. The way you understand a Buddha depends entirely on the depth of your thirst. You can increase your thirst. Even before you hear the words, you can start traveling. You can cultivate the necessary fertile ground to receive those words. And just imagine this man hears that Buddha will be passing by so and so village. You can meet him. You can ask him a few questions. That would be one of the highest points of his life, because he's been searching in his own way and he has not found the answer. Here is an opportunity to actually meet and listen to the words of the one who has experienced the very thing he's searching for. It is like a stream rushing towards the ocean. The joy of the stream, the anticipation of the stream. Because one meeting, one merger, the stream becomes what it was meant to be all the time. It started its life in the ocean, and then it became vapor, it became clouds, then it fell as rain. Now, where is it going? It is going nowhere. It is going home. That is why there is a sense of excitement, there is a sense of joy, because that merger is permanent. The longing of the river is the ocean. The longing of a seeker is the Buddha. And when he meets, when he hears him speak, do you think he will be doubting Buddha's words? Do you think he would entertain any other thought apart from what he is hearing? You have to be at that level of openness. There cannot be any doubting his words. If there is any doubt, you will not allow those words to sink deeper. You will not appreciate the gravity of those words. They will simply remain an idea. You will play with it for a while, and then eventually you will drop it. Here are a few words that if you are ready, if you are open, it can go all the way. It can reach the very core of your being. All you need is thirst and openness. Buddha says, watchfulness is the path to the deathless. He is, in a single statement, giving the ultimate answer to all of man's problems, to all of man's questions. The biggest predicament of man is death. He does not know what death is. He does not know what happens to him after death. Because he does not know what death is, he knows nothing about life. Life is a total mystery. How can you understand life without knowing what death is? Depending on what happens to you after death, the meaning of your life changes completely. If death were to be the end of everything, the moment you die, if you were to disappear, leaving no trace of you having ever existed, then the way you live would be one way. Your actions, your desires, what you accumulate, what you drop, everything will be aligned to that one idea, that there are no consequences for my actions. I don't have to care about what happens to me after I die. I don't have to worry about hurting myself and hurting others. Your entire philosophy of life will revolve around your understanding of death. And imagine if you were told everything you do in life resonates in eternity. Every thought, every action of yours becomes a part of you. Not as a judgment. Nobody is sitting and judging your actions. Nobody is sitting and keeping a tab of your every action. But your involvement in those actions, your awareness, your watchfulness become your next life. How you live, whether you live watching your actions or being unconscious, determines your next life. And there is a next life. You cannot escape the consequences of your actions by hiding behind an imaginary concept called death. For the one who's inside you, death is purely imaginary. For him, life goes on as if nothing has changed. The changes you make in this life, the peace that you find in this life, the happiness you find in this life is yours. Everything else has to be dropped. You cannot carry forward anything else. But every step you have taken that has got you closer, that has brought you closer to home, that much journey is yours. You've already traveled. If there are 1,000 miles to get to your ultimate nature, the deathless state of pure being, and if you have taken only 2 steps, those 2 steps are yours.